want to go get my name over there? You can hear it? You hearing it? You hearing?
No.
You're hearing me now?
Very low.
Very low? Can you hear me?
Very low still. It's still low. Probably it's the music in the background.
Oh Lord. Hello? Hello? Ask him to go down low for me now, please. A little bit low. Yes, sir. Tell me when you're ready. Welcome back. This is Tenny Live coming to you from 188 Spanish Town Road. The program is Inside the Soil, and today is a special broadcast. And you notice I'm trying to compete with the noise in the background. Compete with the noise in the background from the music, people who are providing entertainment for this activity here this afternoon. As soon as I can get more of their attention, I will ask them to give me a little bit of ask them to give me a little bit. Yes, thank you. You can go up, you can go up a little bit more. Welcome back again. Yes, now I can see myself on the screen, and you can see yourself on the screen over there. I'm here with Mr. Forrest Whitaker.
Forrester.
Huh?
Forrester.
Mr. Forrester Whitaker. Is it Whitaker Forrester or Forrester Whitaker?
It's Dwight Forrester.
Oh, Dwight Forrester, but you know, you're almost sort of Forrest Whitaker, who's a movie star, you know? And he will say, I think he's my first cousin, but he can't remember.
Probably.
Probably. Mr. Whitaker, how you doing?
It's Forrester again.
I know it's missing. Mr. Forrester, how are you?
Yeah, I am well, thank you. Thanks for asking. I hope you're also okay. Enjoy.
Thank you. Yes.
Here today.
Yeah, man, great. It's a wonderful day today, and great things are happening here on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture and, of course, RADA in collaboration with Agro-Invest, putting on the special marketplace activity. And it's something that Jamaicans in the diaspora is really tuned in and want to hear and want to know about, because we want to know that people are yard now suffer all that much.
Yeah.
Food are grow yard, and that, I mean, if they can come back home, they will be able to find food to eat. And that's good, rich quality food.
And that's something that I can say without fear of contradiction, that yes, whenever you are ready, guys who are in the diaspora, wherever you are, you're ready to come home,
yes,
rest assured that
food are here
feeding you is our number one priority.
Is responsible part is a vice chairman or director or president or manager for the production and marketing department of RADA. And I will be speaking to one of his managers sometime soon, because we're going to try and see how we can develop a relationship in terms of how RADA speaks to the diaspora on a regular basis, especially going forward about what production is in place, what are they doing, and how they'll be able to facilitate Jamaicans in the diaspora to come home and to find ways and get support from RADA for planting, for getting seedlings, to deal with fertilizing, get guidance as to what amount of fertilizer to put into what plant and how and where, what time of the year you plant and you that sort of thing. So you deal with marketing and production.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you do it.
All right. So, as the production and marketing manager, I am responsible for production and also marketing. So, the island is divided into extension areas. So each parish would have its own extension areas that's a defined geographical space that is called an extension area.
Okay.
Each extension area is supervised by an extension officer and a deputy extension officer. There is also a specialized unit that is formed in RADA, which the production and marketing unit is one. So for my production and marketing unit, I have 14 marketing officers spread out across the 13 parishes, and Y13, Kingston and St. Andrew is amalgamated as one. So they have one officer and two for St. Elizabeth, which is their production area. So they are basically responsible for identifying market access, market information, giving farmers advice in regards to crop that is of good market potential. We advise farmers in regards to business planning, farm management, and in terms of from the production side, we tie the market to the production by saying to the farmers that in St. Elizabeth, for example, we are having oversupplies of, say, cucumber. So it is not advised that you do cucumber in Clarendon, but do something else.
So you do cucumber the lettuce because lettuce is not high in supply in another area. Tell me, are the parishes and the country kind of a zone as far as specific crops are concerned, where there high concentration of particular crops in different parts of the country and in different parts of the parishes, and by so doing, you tend to see how you maximize productivity levels by virtue of what the soil types are good for and what is best in those areas? Is that how you're structured?
It is not as structured as we would want it to be, but based on the different climatic condition that is available in different parishes,
right?
It indirectly zone what sort of crop will thrive best in the different parts. For example, if you look at Kellits, Bagol, Mason River, that here, because of the high water content, does well with most of the leafy vegetables. So the pak choy, the lettuce, the cabbage, those areas are the belt for those sort of vegetables crop.
Okay.
While parishes like St. Elizabeth that is on the drier side, but develop a dry farming technique where they use the grass to retain moisture in order to get their production. They are more inclined to produce the longer term vegetables like the tomato, the sweet pepper, the watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, etc.
Wonderful, wonderful.
While Portland, because of its high water content, they produce a large amount of dasheen, cocoa, banana, and plantain.
And in Portland?
Yes, so indirectly, the island is zoned based on the
climatic condition.
The climatic condition, yes. And Trelawney, everybody knows, is the mecca for young.
Trelawney going over into Clarendon?
Yes.
Clarendon?
Yes.
Right. Because I know that you can go to over the place. Give me maybe in Clarendon, in Trelawney, or something like that up in the hill.
Give me a bit. Well, and it's Clarendon. I know.
Wait a bit.
Wait a bit.
Yes. Because I remember driving through there, going down into what do you call it? The community. It's oh Lord. They used to have the Yam Festival down there one time.
Yeah.
Out in Trelawney, right? Albertown. And then there was a tremendous, I just couldn't buy yam on the road, you know?
That's, well...
That's so much dog cheap price to just buy from the man at the farm gate.
That culture is still available there. The only one I cannot speak to is whether they continue to have the Yam Festival.
No, the Yam Festival have not been on for a while, and I hope it will come back. And it's an activity that I think if the Ministry of Agriculture and maybe Agro-Invest could look at that cultural component of the farming industry and see how they can fuse some of the cultural activity with the standard farming practices, it would help to create much more at the unity of purpose, if that is the right term to use for that kind of thing. And it's something that I think RADA could perhaps begin to look at in terms of when you're doing the various festivals and activities that RADA is doing and how you're doing. And so, well, this place is known for a shrimp. This area is known for doing yam. They are noted for doing seafooding, and see how you can get
To be honest, we would normally, through our social service, home economic department, get the farmers and the areas that are traditional for a certain thing to participate in the different expos, especially our Dembe agricultural show, the Montpellier shows, the one that happened in Hague. So it's something that is ongoing. It's just that we need to place a little more emphasis on those.
Wonderful. No, one of the things I'm interested in, Jamaicans in the diaspora, hear that rainfall and hurricane come and Jamaica mash up. And now want to know that if Jamaica get food, tell me now. And you say definitely things are on the rebound. What is the focus of RADA now going forward for the next, say, 6 months to a year?
All right. So immediately after Hurricane Melissa, we would have looked at the level of devastation to the agricultural sector. So areas in parishes that were affected, not as extent as the southern end, emphasis were placed in those parishes to look at the shortfall in the short term, fruits and vegetables. So through the ministry, we look at a Hurricane Melissa Rapid Recovery Program. This, what is happening at the farmers market, is testament of the immense success. So
the recovery process.
Recovery process. So what we are currently looking at going forward is to look at how is it that we are able to utilize our storage facilities, improve those that we have, and there's a new one that was just officially commissioned into operation in Essex Valley, because on an annual basis there are some crop that is always in abundance. For example, tomato and watermelon, cucumber. So we are looking at putting storage facilities in place so that when we have abundance of supplies, we are able to put those into storage, look at what is happening in the marketplace, and release those produce back into the space to ensure that the consumers get the price that they are able to afford.
Prices seem to be a little bit dancing all over the place now.
So it will help as a stabilizing.
As against ground provisions and so on. But the RADA doesn't play a role in terms of how you deal with price regulation necessarily.
All right. Because we're operating into a free market system, what RADA does in conjunction with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, there is a department in the ministry, that the Agricultural Service Department, that looks at pricing. So there is a database by the name of JAMIS, JA-MIS.com. Okay. And that database looks at farm gate prices for the different agricultural commodities across the entire island. How this data is gathered, the marketing extension officers would go out into the field to do their survey on a weekly basis at the farm gate to see what the price point is for that particular commodity at the farm level. When that information is collected, it is then uploaded to the database, and the subscribers to that platform will have access to that pricing point. It does not stop there. They also collect price point from the different municipal and urban market spaces, and also the large scale greengrocers and supermarket outlets, and all of those prices are available to the over 2,000 subscribers of the Jamis database. So we are currently looking at putting measures in place to ensure that the fact that we have already ramped up production and is having supplies in large volume of particular produce, we look at what is happening in specific parish and do the zoning so that we do not have oversupplies this month and then 2 months down the line there is a scarcity.
That's an active process which takes place.
That's
so
a very active process
exactly
that takes place.
how much of what is likely to be produced at the end of a period, that at the carrot season. You know that within the next 6 months we should have a certain amount of carrot coming out of this area or this zone by virtue of that, as against
all right, so
tomatoes and other things.
we would get that information from our provisional estimate. So the provisional estimate is a monthly collection of all the crop commodities that are established within a given parish.
Yes.
The planting date, the amount of farmers, the hectare, and the projected time when that will come into production, and also the expected yield. So we use that information to get more than accurate estimate of the level of production that will be available over a short term or a medium term for all crop category.
Well, I really appreciate that, because, like I said, people have this level of insecurity and ambiguity and trepidation, if for want of a better word, as stipulates to what's going on in the yard and what is happening there. And if I go home, what is going to happen? I mean, there's no way to find this, I'm not going to be able to find that. And if I should return home and want to be able to do something at home, where will I find what? Rather have location, rather have outlets. You have offices and extension officers.
All right, so rather have a parish office in every parish.
Mm-hmm.
We also have area extension offices in the different extension areas also, and we have our head office that is located currently at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining.
Okay. All right. So we look forward to that, because I'm hoping as we get into Denby and we get to the other aspects of the various agricultural pursuits and activities that are taking place, that we'll be able to have enough information to share with the diaspora, because diaspora people want to come home, want to help, want to participate, but they need to know that, well, when I come home, things are happening, we can find things, we can have access to things, and we can get into it.
And as long as the clearance is given, I would only be happy to share with them, because as I said before, what is happening in agriculture, we are poised for greatness, and we are very big on self-sufficient in most of the things that we consume. So we are still.
I understand that the Honorable Minister of Agriculture is here, and we want to use the opportunity to just welcome the Minister of Agriculture here at this juncture. He has been given a hat by Mr. Scully. Honorable Minister, you arrive amidst the broadcast. Welcome. It's always a pleasure to see you. Mr. Scully has commanded that I come here and broadcast so that the diaspora is aware of what is happening and the kind of work that we're doing. I can't get a chance to talk to you. That was the Minister of Agriculture, Floyd Green. We're just sharing a brief moment as we welcome him to the activities. We'll continue our discussion with Mr. Forrester. Mr. Forrester about what's happening around. No, I'm rather excited about the kind of commitment that rather seem to be demonstrating towards what's going on and with the Build Back Jamaica campaign and that sort of thing, because I understand that you guys have a very special Build Back unit, rather focusing on building back things that have been destroyed, that have been damaged, and as you said, build it back better than before.
So we would have had a very new initiative as the Radar Connect, and the Radar Connect is geared letting all farmers wherever they are in Jamaica have access to full extension services that is offered by RADA. So when these activities are organized, all the different directors and the different managers for the different units in the organization visit one agri location to give all the necessary service that is provided to the farmers in their space.
Okay, well, Mr. Forrester, thank you for sharing with us and providing us with such valuable information today. Certainly, we will be telescoping this wide into the diaspora so that they get an understanding as to the depth and magnitude and the size of the work that's being done by RADA and how Jamaicans in the diaspora can access RADA from afar to be able to get guidance so that when they come to Jamaica, now they'll be able to know where to go to do what and so on. Thank you so much for talking to me.
And for those persons who want to in diaspora, they can access RADA through our various social media pages or www.rada.gov.jm.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going to go to a quick break so that we can cut with a break. When we come back from the break, we're going to have a continued discussion with Mr. Sean from the executive of RADA, who's the vice president in charge of Expo. And then we continue that after the break. So stick and stay, don't go away. We go to a quick break. When we come back, the discussion continue from the farmers market here in our 188 Spanish Show. Soon come.
We recognize our farmers
First, I want to welcome the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, the Honorable Floyd Green, along with his State Minister, Mr. Frank Witter, who hail from the Garden Parish. Today, and all our many guests, shoppers and farmers who are here, we welcome you all. So, we actually bring in the Garden Parish to Kingston today. That parish to Kingston today, and you can see by the many turnout of farmers here, production is on a recovery, and as without stealing the minister's thunder, you know, this is a show of gratitude to the farming community, being Farmers Month. So to all who are here, we're happy for the turnout. The AMC has been a hub for agricultural produce over the years, decades. And it's a proud moment for us to host this event here to reflect the recovery that's taking place under the guidance of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. So without much ado, I'm going to turn over the program back to the MC so we can get some words from the Minister and we get the market on the road again.
Thank you, Sir Scully. Thank you so much. We now invite greetings from two of our key partners, Mr. Xavier Charvis, Senior Director, Production Marketing Special Projects for the Rural Agricultural Development Authority. Xavier.
Thank you. Honorable Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Honorable Franklin Witter, Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Mr. Vivian Scully, CEO, AIC. Mr. Owen Dobson, President, JS. Other participating agencies, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Firstly, I would like to extend my gratitude to AIC for asking RADA to participate in such an event. An event like this not just bring farmers together, but what it does, if you understand agriculture, it gives farmers the opportunity to get cash in hand on the day. Sometimes farmers sell their produce and they have to wait months, weeks, days to get paid. So I commend AIC for this opportunity. And farmers market has always been a part of RADA's core function. We have hosted over 50 farmers markets for the 2024-25 financial year, which has benefited over 250 farmers. We have moved over 150,000 kilograms of produce, valuing at over 50 million Jamaican dollars. Additionally, marketing is a core function of RADA, and so through our marketing unit, along with the Agri-Linkages Exchange, RADA has moved over 4 million kilograms of produce, benefiting over 5,000 farmers at a whopping 1.2 billion Jamaican dollars. And this is 1.2 billion Jamaican dollars in the pockets of farmers. Nevertheless, RADA continues to participate in this recovery process. Everybody is well aware what Hurricane Melissa would have done. And so RADA is providing technical service along with key resources to the agricultural sector and in being more specific to our farmers. We have supported farmers through our land preparation program, and we have also provided key inputs: seeds, seedlings, fertilizer, agrochemicals. We have also procured tools and equipment that would aid in the production and productivity of our farmers. We have procured 4 tractors, 2 backhoe, 3 plows, 12 walk-behind tractors, 20 earth augers, which will assist our young farmers who are who were devastated in terms of digging holes. 4 pole pruners, which will assist our fruit tree crop farmers, 24 chainsaw, 20 mist blowers, 50 knapsack sprayers, which will assist in terms of pest management. We have also procured 20 water pumps, 278 water tanks, and 4 sprayer drones, which will assist farmers in respect to their irrigation practices, because we are not being complacent. We are getting rains now, but we may be moving into a dry spell. So we have to be proactive. Separate and apart from that, RADA is rehabilitating 3 nurseries, which we are expecting to assist in seedling production. And we're also going to build 3 additional nurseries. So once again, want to extend our gratitude to AIC for hosting an event like this, and RADA is willing to participate in future events. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Xavier. Indeed, our farmers, they are reaping the benefits, and we see how the RADA is continuing to provide our support. At this time, we will now invite Mr. Owen Dobson, President of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, to bring us greetings.
Thank you. Honorable Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture, Fishery and Mining, Honorable Franklin Witter, Mr. Scully, to all the sponsors, distinguished guests, farmers, good afternoon. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to stand here this afternoon in a collaboration with Ministry of Agriculture, Fishery and Mining and RADA. Indeed, I am very happy. As we are celebrating Farmers Month, to recognize our farmers and also to big up our agricultural sector, it is a pleasure. We have been in collaboration doing a lot of farmers market around Jamaica. We have done 2 in Westmoreland, which was very fruitful, and we are still asking, we are still begging for 1 more in Westmoreland, and I hope that you can hear our plea and assisted us. Even yesterday, I was getting a lot of calls from the housewives and all of these people saying, look, we need it, we need to give our support. And so I'm asking kindly, because it is a great thing for the farmers. When we look at how devastated our farmers are, especially in the western side of the country, we thought about food security, and the ministry, we sat with them and they had said to us, look, we're going to encourage these farmers to go out because we want to know that we can take care of ourselves. We have done that on the eastern side. Never know that the western side would have picked up the pieces and get back there in this great manner. And I would say to us today, we don't want to take this lightly. Please, because we can see the hard work, the dedication, the resilience of our farmers. We know that they has put out a wonderful work. And as our minister has always said in his speech, if you pick them up, you lick them down, then bounce right back. You know, as I said earlier on in an interview, that when we collaborated with United Way to assist some of the farmers in eastern Westmoreland, and when we went there and thought that everyone would have been seated, waiting for us to give them whatever assistance we could, we have to take all of these farmers out of the field. Even though they were living in schoolrooms and things like that, we have to go in the field and get them out to give them what we have to give them. So I'm just saying today, Mr. Minister and our key stakeholders and business sectors, we don't want to take it lightly. We want to make sure we take care of them. And I'm very glad for this opportunity. I'm glad for the sponsors. I'm glad for the business sector. I'm glad for everyone. And I'm very happy, most of all, for the collaboration between us, the JAS, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Fishery, and Mining. Trust me, it is a wonderful thing. And sir, I will say on behalf of the JAS, we are willing to work with you as much as we can to make this sector what it ought to be. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Sir Dobson. Indeed, our farmers has what is called stick-to-itiveness. No matter how much they are hit, they are ready to bounce right back. And I share that sentiment with you, Westmoreland, of all the parishes, yes? They are ready to bounce back, and they have bounced back, and we must celebrate them. Thank you so much. At this time, I'm going to invite our Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Honorable Floyd Green, to deliver the main address. Before we have the Minister, Honorable Minister Peter, State Minister Witter, I'm going to invite you to share with us, give us your greetings, and then we'll have our Honorable Minister. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too am very anxious to hear my minister, so I don't have a problem with you calling on him. Honorable Minister Green, or head of the AIC, Mr. Scully, and other, I see our deputy chair, other members from the AIC, or officers from the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, including all the agencies rather, and all the other agencies, members of the media, and most of all, our farmers who are here today. As I've said before, I'm anxious to hear my minister. I know he has a lot to say. Therefore, I won't be long. I just want to say that I'm very happy to be sharing in this moment. And when I look across and see the response by our farmers, by coming out with the produce, and also the response from the consumers, I'm very, very happy to see that agriculture continue to be the shaper of economic activity in Jamaica. And therefore today, I am very, very happy to be a part of this ministry. And I just want to say to you today that we at the ministry, we are on a path to ensure that agriculture remains on top. We have seen the response subsequent to Hurricane Melissa by our farmers. And we are responding. We are making sure that when the farmers respond to the challenges, then we are able to ensure that they can make a profit on their investment. We look forward to the continued partnership with JAS. I see our JAS president here, just presented a while ago. A key partner in the agriculture sector. We want to assure you that we will continue to ensure that we work together to build the agriculture sector and to ensure that we can provide food security for our people in Jamaica. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Minister Witter. So at this time, I'm going to pause for Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much to our Master of Ceremony, my colleague and State Minister, Minister Franklin Witter, Mr. Vivian Scully, our CEO of the Agro-Invest Corporation, other members of the Agro-Invest Corporation team, of course, Deputy Chair, Mrs. Trisha Williams-Singh, and other members of the Board of Directors. Good to see you, Mr. Dobson. Happy to have you here. I know you prefer to be in the country, but I'm happy that you came and journeyed to be here in Kingston with the team, and the Rada family who is also here, who have been critical in working together to have this happen.
and our farmers, members of the media. Good afternoon, everybody. For us, today's Farmers Market is a key initiative of our Farmers Month drive. We are in Farmers Month. And I say to everybody, you should do it right around the year, but especially in Farmers Month. Once you have had something to eat, you need to thank a farmer. Sometimes we take for granted how you move from farm to table. But there are people out in the fields working very hard to ensure that we can have our sumptuous meals. And today what you are seeing is collaboration between the Agro-Invest Corporation, our Rural Agricultural Development Authority, and the JAS to bring together our farmers to celebrate resilience, to celebrate partnership, and to show the pride that we have in such a noble profession. We know that the last few years have been particularly challenging. Between Hurricane Beryl, Tropical Storm Raphael, Hurricane Melissa, our farmers have seen a significant blow to their livelihoods. In fact, over 70,000 farmers were impacted in Hurricane Melissa. And for our agro-parks, over 1,300 acres of land would have suffered significant damage from Hurricane Melissa. But we know how our farmers are. Our farmers never give up. And once you provide them with the support, once you give them the opportunity, our farmers will answer the call. And they will drive the resilience and the rebirth. And we have seen that. We've seen that across the country, and we've seen that across our agro-parks. In fact, under the Agro-Invest Corporation, we embarked on a 1,000-acre boost program right after Hurricane Melissa. In fact, I remember in about November, we were out in Murray's meeting with our agro-park farmers and saying to them, we know it has been difficult, but we're going to provide you with some support. What we need is for you to go back out and plant. And as such, we provided them with seedlings, we provided them with fertilizer, and most importantly, in our agro-parks that have irrigation, we removed the cost of irrigation water. So we provided that water free of cost to our farmers since Hurricane Melissa all the way to the end of February. And our farmers answered the call. It also helps that we have expanded irrigation networks. So in some places where we never had irrigation, based on the investment of the government, they have irrigation now. And I will never forget, I read an article in December about a farmer in a place called Parnassus. And the farmer said, boy, he suffered a major loss. So they asked him, why are you back out there? The man said, well, me have the water now. And once me have the water, I will get back out there. Because him know, if him get back fast, there is some reward to come. So we have seen the bounce back of our vegetable lines like never before in our history. When you look at Hurricane Ivan, it took us years to get back to our pre-Ivan numbers. We started to see good recovery after Beryl. Took us about a year. But the recovery that we've seen in Melissa, everybody have to admit, is like nothing we have seen before. If you were to tell people that in 3 months after Melissa, you could go into the market and find excess vegetable, they would say no such thing. When you saw the damage to some of our most productive parishes, people thought that no, we would not be able to keep farmers market. But our challenge has been not how quickly we have recovered, but the recovery has been so robust, so strong, that our problem has been excess supply of goods. In fact, when you look at the news now and you ask what is the complaint that farmers have, is them have too much goods and they're looking for market. And that is why today is important. So we are happy to see the recovery. We're happy that entities like RADA, Agro-Invest, other entities like JACRA have gotten on the ground and have helped the farmers. And we're happy to see that the farmers have bounced back so strongly. In fact, when we look at our numbers, over 1,800 hectares of key crops have been restored since Hurricane Melissa. But restoration and recovery is not just getting production up. It is also helping those farmers to move their items. Also helping those farmers by providing a market space. And that is why we have moved so quickly to ramp up our farmers market. Because as you would have heard from President Dobson, as you would have heard from the RADA team, the farmers market produces a space where our farmers are able not just to move their produce, but to get cash for their produce in real time that they can then put back into their investments. So today, we have over 30 farmers from our agro-parks and an additional 23 farmers from across the island. Over 53 farmers are here today, and I want you to give them a big round of applause. The JAS would have helped mobilize, RADA would have helped mobilize, and we're happy for that. And we also want to thank our sponsors who have come on board and our exhibitors. We have over 30 exhibitors here with ready-to-eat vendors, which we think is important because sometimes you say agriculture and you think it's just primary production. And when they go into manufacturing, they call it manufacturing and not agriculture. All of that is a part of agriculture. And this is just one. In fact, since over the last 6 weeks, we have had over 20 farmers markets across the length and breadth of Jamaica, partnered with the JAS, partnered with the RADA in places like Portland, Westmoreland, St. Anne, St. James, just to move our farmers' products. And I want to thank the team for answering the call. And I also want to thank the private sector, because a number of our private sector partners have also been staging their own farmers market. And you might not know, but this is the big version. The Agro-Invest has been having a small farmers market by Ebony Park for the last, how much weeks now, Mr. Scully? About 8 weeks. And it has gone so well, it might have to become a staple for them, because people are getting used to going now to Ebony Park and getting their fresh produce. But this is just one part of the puzzle. And we're going to continue on this direction to help our farmers move their produce. We have said that our farmers in our agro-parks should have a clear market for their crops. And that's one of the reasons why we establish our agro-parks. And where that is not present, we want to work with our hoteliers, we want to work with our manufacturers, our agro-processors, we want to work with our financial institutions to ensure that is happening. The Agro-Invest Corporation can be the bridge. We have already started a matching grant scheme, but what we want is that every farmer in the agro-park should have a contractual arrangement. It's either you have a contract with a purveyor who is going to take your items, or directly with a hotel. And once you have that contract, the banks should be willing to provide the financing so they can expand the acreage under production. So the agro-parks were not just to be an area that you call an agro-park. An agro-park is to be an ecosystem for an integrated agricultural model, where when you go into the agro-park, you have a road network, you have a storage network, you have an irrigation network, and you have a market linkage and a financing linkage, so that the agro-park should be the backbone of our production system. So that no matter what happens with weather-related events, the agro-park should always be quick to respond and to rebound. So we know some of the challenges. We have some agro-parks that were agro-parks in name, but not in infrastructure. So we're working to fix that. And we have already submitted a proposal to the Ministry of Finance to ensure that some of our old agro-parks, like Ebony Park, like Amity Hall, the old side, that they get the infrastructure that they need to continue to do well. And in our new agro-parks, we are front-loading that. So when you go to Essex Valley, they already have storage, they already have a nice road network, they already have all the offices in one place, and they have a training area for farmers. That is the model that we're taking to our new agro-parks. And I know some people may be wondering, but the storage that we opened with the Prime Minister in Essex Valley, we have been utilizing it. Because when you see the tremendous production of onion and potatoes, what we did was to partner with the private sector to say, we will provide the storage free if you purchase from the farmers. And that has been happening. And I want to thank those private sector partners who have been working with us in that regard. But we also want to see more value addition. We know to get real returns from agriculture, you have to move from primary production. And as such, we have said to the Agro-Invest, you must be that link. Let us find out what the processors need, the quantities and the price point, and work with the farmers to supply that. We have had to intervene very recently in the new Forest Agro Park, where a number of our farmers had excess production of scallion. And I have said to the agro-processors, we don't want to go back down that road, because all these farmers should have a clear contract for how much they are to produce. And thankfully, after we met with the agro-processors a couple of weeks ago, before all the excitement, the agro-processors committed and have started to move the scallion in the area. And I want to publicly thank Grace Kennedy, GK Foods, who are moving 300,000 pounds of scallion as we speak. They've already moved 44,000 this week. I want to thank Walker's Wood, who is partnering with the ministry, where we have said we will provide the transportation if you will take the scallion. And come Sunday, we're going to be starting to move 125,000 pounds of scallion from the area. And we have some other agro-processors who have come on board to move an additional 200,000 pounds of scallion. So I want to say to the farmers, I know it is challenging, because what has happened is that we have recovered quicker than the rest of the economy. So we have bounced back, but it's still taking some time for the rooms to come back in tourism. And this winter season, where we would normally have our rooms fully occupied, because we have the best tourism minister in the world, because we don't have the rooms, then we don't have that demand. So it is causing a pressure right across the system. But farmers must rest assured, once they have the challenges, the Ministry of Agriculture is not going to leave them alone. We're going to hold your hands. We're going to keep initiatives like this. We're going to work with the agro-processors to ensure that you get the support. The other area that Agro-Invest has to expand is our foray into exports. We can't be producing at this volume and at this quality and not satisfying other markets. Places like Cayman need our onions, they need our scallion, they need our Irish. And the vision hasn't changed, And I want people to be clear. This AMC complex will always be in agriculture. No matter what you hear, we are not moving this complex outside of agriculture. The vision from the 80s was clear. When you drive, you still see it. Agro-export. We must be able not just to service our own needs, but to satisfy the region needs. Again, when it comes to quality, nothing compares. No matter how they try to take our scotch bonnet seed and plant it elsewhere, them can't get the flavor. They can't get the flavor profile. And it's the same thing with our onions, so that they can consistently supply these markets. So